What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. As someone who has traveled quite a bit and knows the struggle trying to stick to your healthy habits while you're traveling, I want to share with you 5 great tips that are going to help you overcome the obstacles that keep defeating you, so you could finally break through and no longer use that excuse that you couldn't stick to your healthy habits just because you were traveling for work. Important to remember with anything, we are not striving for perfection here. I tend to live my life with the 80-20 rule, and a mindset that has served me really well in everything is that what I do most of the time is more important than what I do some of the time. So with that being said, let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1, pack healthy snack options. Make sure your car or bag is stocked with healthier alternatives so that when you get hungry, you don't stop at a rest stop and pick up the candy, the soda, the potato chips, thinking that's going to somehow help you. I do not do well when I'm hungry. I tend to get hangry, and when I'm hangry, I get impatient. As soon as I'm impatient and hungry, I reach for something that's easy and quick. Because I didn't want to exert any more energy than I had to, I just reached for potato chips and candy. Or I would stop at a fast food place. In my previous apartment, I had an entire drawer that was dedicated to healthy supplements and healthy snack options so I could easily grab them when I was traveling to throw into my bag or my car. Now my car is stocked really well with high protein snack options, so when I do get hungry and reach for something, I grab a protein shake, I grab a bag of pistachios. And in my bag, I would always have fresh fruit like a banana or an apple, and I would pair them together. So I had something easy to eat while I was driving, but also it gave me more sustainable energy. I didn't have this surge in my insulin levels and then it crashed shortly thereafter from the candy. My energy levels were more consistent. So if you were anything like me and you make poorer decisions when you're hungry, pack yourself some healthy snacks and make sure your car is stocked with healthier, high-protein consumables. Tip number 2, go food shopping. You're probably thinking, what? Come on, man, I'm working. I don't have time for this. Listen, I get it, but this tip was so helpful for me in my progress. In the past, when I had overnight work trips, I would make a bunch of calls, check into the hotel completely exhausted. Then I would park myself in the hotel restaurant or a restaurant nearby, order some beers and appetizers, go back to the hotel, do some more work, and then get some sleep. I always woke up tired. My gym session the next morning always felt off. And then I realized I need to make this easy for myself, not more difficult. So I did this instead. I would actually arrive the night before. I would call on one customer on my way out, check into the hotel, completely unpack, and then the next thing I did was hit the nearest grocery store. And if I was staying a couple of nights in this area, I would just stock up on healthy food. I would pick up fresh fruit like blueberries, bananas, strawberries. I also bought some pre-cooked chicken and pre-cooked vegetables, and when it was time for dinner, I would just eat that instead. One hotel I always preferred to stay at were the Marriott Residence Inns because they come equipped with a full kitchen. This again didn't allow me to have any excuse. There have even been times where I traveled and I didn't have my company car with me. I would just call up an Uber and travel to a nearby grocery store and at least get some bare essentials. So at night, I wouldn't reach for candy and chips. I would reach for fresh fruit and some protein instead. Taking 30 minutes to an hour to visit a grocery store nearby and stock up on healthy food is a game changer, believe me. Tip number 3, look up the menu and prep before you go out to dinner. How can you possibly stick to a healthy diet or a healthy routine when you're taking customers out for dinner or it's a work event and everybody's drinking and eating and they want you to join in on it? So what I would do to prep myself, if I had a dinner reservation with a customer and they were a bit of a drinker and I honestly just wasn't in the mood for the questions or the looks, I would just stick to wine. I noticed that if I had 2 glasses of wine with dinner and I took my time with them, I didn't really feel it the next day and it wasn't detrimental to my diet. I just made a conscious decision that morning that, okay, I have this dinner appointment, I'm going to allow myself to have the wine, I'm going to have some fun, make my peace with it, and go on about my day. And I also made sure I prepped by looking at the menu before I went. Because I made the reservations, I always made sure the menu had at least a couple of different healthy options for myself, or in case there was somebody else there that wanted to eat a little bit healthier as well. But in the situation for a work event, typically at these work events, like a sales meeting or mid-year meeting or corporate training, there's always an open bar. If you are in a situation where you're just not comfortable yet telling people, oh, you're not drinking, for whatever the reason is, it's really no one's business. But if you're not comfortable in explaining yourself, a great tip that you could do is when you get to the bartender, just ask them for club soda and lime. This always worked like a charm. It would appear as if I was drinking, and it always kept the idiots at bay. I didn't have the condescending questions or, oh, you're not drinking? Why aren't you drinking? What's going on? Oh, don't give me this you're not drinking BS. Club soda and lime works every time. Club soda and lime works every time. Yes! And this enabled me to stick to my diet, stick to my fitness regimen, and I didn't feel like crap the next day. Tip number 4, get moving. Every single hotel that I've stayed in, if it's a major chain, has some type of fitness center available for you. I know that they are not the most luxurious, but you can easily get a workout in. Even if you just drop in there for 30 minutes. Sometimes you just have to make do with what is available to you. Don't use this BS excuse that, oh, it's not your gym or it's not your home equipment, so you're just going to skip working working out or skip any type of movement just because you're traveling for work. If it's important to you, you will make it happen, plain and simple. If you could commit to your customers while you're traveling, you could certainly commit to yourself. Personally, I signed up for a Planet Fitness because it didn't matter where I stayed. There was always a gym location within 15 to 20 minutes from where I was staying. I paid $25 a month for the Planet Fitness Black membership card, and I could use any Planet Fitness throughout the country. When I traveled for work, I always made sure to pack my gym clothes and my gym shoes. And before I went to bed, I would actually lay out my clothes the night before so that when I woke up, it was the first thing I put on. Once I was dressed in my gym clothes, the only thing left was to get my ass to the gym. Now, if lifting weights isn't your thing, that's fine. In the fitness center, there's always treadmills or ellipticals available. If it's nice where you're staying, even better, you could go outside and go for a walk or a jog. You could look at a nearby walking trail. There are plenty of options and zero excuses to keep you from moving while you're traveling. The best part about this tip, and this is the key part, whenever I work out, I feel like I have this obligation to eat better the rest of the day because I don't want to waste that gym session I had. It literally spills over into other areas of your day to keep your healthy habits. And the other side of this too is if I do decide to indulge in dessert or an extra glass of wine, I don't feel as guilty because at least I worked out. I did something for myself today and I got some movement in. Tip number 5, stay hydrated. Very important here. When you travel, get your water intake in. This is essential for your overall well-being. You need to stay sharp. I still don't understand that when I check into a hotel as a gold member, the hotel is so stingy on their water. They give you like the tiniest little water bottle that's part of your little welcome gift. So obviously that was useless. And then I would go to buy water in the hotel market, but guess what? Every single bottle of water in there is overpriced. It's like 12 bucks a pop for a slightly bigger water bottle. And I couldn't expense that. They would have been like, yeah, Frankie, you got about $90 worth of water here on your hotel bill. Are you like part camel? I don't remember you sharing this with us. This certainly wasn't on your resume. What's going on here? And it's like, no, I'm freaking thirsty, man. So I just had enough of that. I was like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. When I checked in the night before and I did my grocery shopping, I would pick up gallons and gallons of water and just stock them in my room. Anything left over, I just load back into my car and I took back home with me. When you're flying somewhere for work, a great suggestion I have for you, you can choose to follow it or not. I would not recommend drinking alcohol while you're on a flight. I just wouldn't do it. I know it could be fun and it looks like fun, but you have to understand, alcohol is absorbed into your bloodstream much quicker as a result of cabin pressure and lower levels of oxygen in the blood. I used to have a terrible fear of flying. The first thing I would do when I sat down was order a drink because I needed to relax. But from my experience, this is not a good idea. I would stay hydrated and drink water on the plane, okay? Definitely worth it to stop at a market in the airport and get yourself a big bottle of water. Bonus points if you fill it with electrolytes. If you want a cocktail while you're traveling, no problem. Go somewhere cool for dinner and enjoy that glass while your feet are on the ground. I actually found this great product that I would consume when I was flying that I would mix in with my water, and it actually helped reduce travel bloat, support circulation, replenish hydration, and also prevent jet lag, called Flight Elixir. So if you're someone who's constantly flying somewhere and your flights are typically longer than a couple of hours, definitely look into that. I think you could actually find it on Amazon as well. So that's 5 tips that are definitely going to help you stick to your healthy habits while you're traveling. But I want to give you a few more honorable mentions that are also really useful. Get yourself a good, high-quality sleep mask. It's important to have total darkness while you're sleeping so you go through all the proper sleep stages uninterrupted. The sleep mask was really useful for me to ensuring I got a proper good night's sleep, especially if I was staying in a city where all of the lights would still creep through the windows. Also super important to remember that you keep your room cool. I would always set my AC unit down to 65 while I was unwinding for bed because I do not sleep well when it's hot, and I'm pretty sure most people don't. I cannot stress this enough. Sleep is always important, whether you're at home or traveling, but it's even more important to ensure you're getting a good night's sleep while you're traveling. If you are taking supplements, get yourself a good travel case. I love the one I purchased, and I take a lot of supplements. I don't want to miss the days I take them just because I'm traveling for work, so I made sure I invested in a proper pill case. Not once was I ever stopped by a security checkpoint or have any issues with it in my carry-on bag or my check-on luggage. It was never a problem, not even one. Another honorable mention, noise-canceling headphones. If you are on a flight especially, this is a must and it's a no-brainer. I don't know what it is about flying, but humans tend to devolve completely when boarding a plane, or how they carry themselves on a plane. It's like they forgot everything that they have learned. It's hot, it's stuffy, there's always a baby crying next to you. Noise cancellation is a godsend. Shut out the world and protect your peace while you're flying. Because if you don't, you will order that drink thinking it's going to somehow silence the baby that's crying. Believe me, it doesn't. I have really big headphones. I just pop these on because these headphones say, leave me alone. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. It helps the channel when you do. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more content just like this. I hope to see you guys in the next one, but even if I don't, be light, be kind, be loved.